We all know the kings, the empires, the battles, but what about the people? Not the generals or priests. I'm talking about the ordinary men, women, and children who built ancient civilizations. What did they eat? How did they fall in love? What did they fear? Today, we're going deep into the mud brick houses of Mesopotamia, the crowded apartments of Rome, and the sun-baked villages of ancient Egypt. By the end of this video, you'll never look at ancient history the same way again. Let's start in Mesopotamia, over 5,000 years ago. This is the birthplace of urban civilization. You might think daily life was pure chaos, but no, it was surprisingly organized. People lived in homes made of sun-dried mud bricks. Streets were packed with markets, scribes, and smells of roasted fish and grain. They had schools, laws, even bars. Yes, the Sumerians drank beer through long straws from communal jars, and their jobs. Farmers, merchants, priests, even fortune tellers. Here's the wild part. If your neighbor didn't return a borrowed ox, there were receipts written on clay. Egypt wasn't just pyramids. Daily life revolved around the Nile. It was their supermarket, highway, and water source all in one. Homes were modest, made from mud bricks and often whitewashed. They had no furniture, just mats, low tables, and sometimes rooftop sleeping. Families rose early, worked with the sunrise, and ate meals of bread, onions, and beer. Even pharaohs had bow problems. They used scented cones of fat to slowly melt perfume on their heads. Rome was chaos and convenience rolled into one. Most people lived in insular, cramped, flammable apartment blocks, but they had running water, fast food, and public toilets. Their days were social. Bathhouses were more than hygiene. They were networking centers and entertainment, chariot races, gladiator fights, and, surprisingly, poetry slams. Romans had graffiti. One in Pompeii reads, "We two dear men, friends forever, were here." So yes, even 2,000 years ago, people still tagged walls. History often skips them, but women, kids, and slaves made up most of society. In Mesopotamia, women could own property and file for divorce. In Egypt, they were legally equal to men. In Rome, they had less freedom but great influence behind the scenes. Children learned to read, write, and play games we still use today. And slaves, they weren't always mistreated. Some were teachers, accountants, and even chefs. Belief shaped everything. They didn't just pray on special days. Gods were baked into every task. Farming, bathing, childbirth. You might think modern people are superstitious, but back then, forgetting to thank the household god could mean a failed crop or a sick child. We remember the pyramids and temples, but these people woke up, cooked, loved, laughed, and died. Just like us, they wrote love poems, played jokes, worried about bills. History isn't just kings, it's people and their daily lives, often more relatable than you think. If you want more untold stories from history, hit subscribe and turn on the bell and tell me in the comments, which civilization would you survive in best?